It is important to ensure a gender perspective in all of anti-corruption efforts because there are several ways of corruption that impact in a deeper way to women than men. In business, for example, sextortion, a form of corruption in which sex rather than money is the currency of the right, or how in business negotiations there is not a level playing field with equal opportunities for men and women. Not all voices are listened equally. For example, in one of our gender activities, the Integrity Coffee, a periodic space for exchange among female entrepreneurs and businesswomen where they can have an informal but protected environment to openly discuss corruption-related challenges and possible solutions. Some women entrepreneurs in different countries have shared with us how spreading the word on this nexus makes them easier to join forces, resist, and evidence to all that corruption in business affects different to them than men. To ensure that women's economic empowerment is not hindered by corruption, a first step could be to recognize, to understand, to analyze the links between gender and corruption. One relevant factor is the nexus in the underlying power relations. We must listen to women in business, women in compliance, women entrepreneurs, women in the supply chain, so we can define a practical-based strategy. It is not necessary to be an expert. It is already a great start to acknowledge the nexus. Next step can be when the companies elaborate concrete strategies combining gender-specific measures with compliance efforts, ensuring a gender perspective in the entire compliance program. For example, establishing a code of ethics with a gender perspective. It is important for men to get involved in the discussion about gender and corruption because if men are part of the problem, we must be part of the solution too. It is a shared responsibility to tackle this problem collectively. Governments, companies, their stakeholders, civil society, international organizations, all of us can do something, women and men. We all should start discussions, strengthen collective action with women in compliance, and encourage companies to implement gender perspective sensitive compliance programs. My personal motivation to get involved in the discussion about gender and corruption is because it is the right thing to do, and I am convinced that any corruption effort will be more efficient if it has a gender perspective.